Yeah, I'm sure you can't tell if I've got a little bit of a Southern accent. People usually ask me, and I say, "What accent?" So, but anyway.
I love it.
Well, the book is called When I Talk to God, I Talk About You. So let's start off first with the title.
Yeah.
Did
You
that-
know, we basically, we'll try to make it short, but over the pandemic is when Bradley and I officially met. And we ended up talking a lot about sort of, as you do, as you get to know people, about like things that maybe you wish you would have heard when you were younger, or different ways in which um, things were presented to you. And for me, prayer was always really important, and my grandmother instilled that in me in a really young age. And so we wanted to impart that upon young readers. And when we finally met with a publisher, we just honed the idea of what we really want the title to say, because obviously that gets you when you're going to purchase a book or not. So because the book is a gentle introduction to prayer, we wanted it to seem very relatable, and to sound that, if a parent can do it, a parent can tell a child that if I talk to God, you can talk to God too. And we start the book off with the whole sentiment of when I talk to God, I talk about you. So the parent is, very tenderly, but also very relatable, like very relatable concept of this conversation and connection with God. So we wanted to have that in the title.
Okay. So you guys wrote this together?
We did.
Yes, we did.
Okay. So did you have everything written? It's very cute, by the way.
Thank you.
Did you have everything written before? You knew what you.
We had a few drafts of it, and then we spoke to publishers, and we ended up with Flamingo, which is an imprint of Penguin, Random House, and our publisher, Margaret, really helped us focus the message and simplify it even more for children, because it's a general introduction to prayer.
Which is a big concept.
Which is a huge
so you
concept.
Have to continue to simplify.
But it's general in the fact that the characters in the book are animals. So you can see, how they take care of each other and love each other and introduce things to their children, and in a way that's like parents introducing it to their own children.
Yeah. Let's see. Very nice concept. So did you two grow up in a religious family? I know you talked about your grandmother. Were your parents?
Yeah, we definitely. I grew up specifically in a Catholic home, in Catholicism. That's now changed a little bit. I don't practice Catholicism, but I am obviously Christian and spiritual. But yeah, prayer and my connection with God and my relationship with God was always there.
And I grew up Southern Baptist in Nashville, so I wouldn't say I'm Southern Baptist now, but I am Christian. So it was always a part of my family.
Okay. Okay. So you guys, you're not just co-authors, but you've been together for a couple of years. Is that true?
Okay. We have. It's a true story.
But with the pandemic, it's like 5.
True. Dog years. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my husband says we're almost at 30, so I think he thinks we gained probably 10 years. Yeah.
For sure.
Huge This Is Us fan here, so it's just a great pleasure to speak to you. Well, now, so I need to ask you, what inspired you to enter show business?
Goodness, I was always the mediator in my family. I was always able to see both sides of why two people might be upset, or where they were coming from, but always able to kind of bridge the gap and say, well, this is how they felt and this is how you felt. Like, let's come together and understand each other. And I think that really helped in my storytelling, and I always wanted to relate to people. I love people. I didn't think that TV film was going to be my thing. I thought music would be. And I was, the class clown in high school and was silly and goofy. But it wasn't until an open call that my sister had me take her to because she wanted to model that I met my then manager. And she was like, "Oh, do you want to do TV and film?" And I was like, I'm scared of my own shadow. I don't want to do anything. But I think it was just this desire of wanting to feel less alone through telling other people's stories, understanding myself more, and also having empathy for everybody else's stories, because everybody's story is essential. Like, everybody's story needs to be told. So I think it really came from that. I can't believe it happened. On paper, it doesn't quite make sense, but I think it was just that I love people and I wanted to tell stories, and whether that was through TV and film or through song.
Well, I know it was tough for me when This Is Us ended. So
Me too. Me too.
Were you happy or at least satisfied at the ending?
I was satisfied at the ending. I do wish we would have had one more season, but I think if we had one more season, we'd want one more season. It's like you just have to be content with having enough. And I thought that the way it ended was so beautiful and touching, and I think that people will remember it forever. And I think the show will live on forever. So as much as I selfishly would like another season or two, I felt like it ended in the right way.
Yeah. And maybe left something for maybe a reunion or a movie.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. I'm open.
Some sort of a reboot down the years. Are you into acting or anything, Bradley?
I'm a songwriter, so one of the things Chrissy and I were both looking for somebody else was someone that loved music. And I don't think we ever thought we'd find somebody that loved it as much as we did, but we ended up doing. And we wrote a children's album that goes along with this book that's coming out on February 10th called Prayed for This Day, where Chrissy and I co-wrote all 11 songs on there with some great songwriters like Phil Barton and Liz Rose that serves to complement the book. The official title is Prayed for This Day, Songs Inspired by the Book. When I talk to God, I talk about you.
Well, okay, well, that's cool. So do you sing as well as write?
I'm not a singer. I'm a songwriter. I would tell you that I sing like a songwriter, but that's just something that Chrissy does such a great job singing, and she sounds so amazing on this album. It's very excited for people to hear it.
Yeah. Well, I believe, Chrissy, you went on tour recently or last year.
Yeah, I did. Over the summer, I went on a 7-city tour, and it was really exciting because I hadn't put music out in quite some time, and I really was itching to just connect with people. There's nothing like live music. It's a cyclical exchange of energy where you're putting it out. So, people are giving you love back and you're giving the love back to them. It's so special. So I'm hoping to do that soon. And I think we'll be performing some of these songs while we're doing press for the book. So that should be fun.
Is it that you have a band? Am I correct about that?
I don't have a band. I put a band together for the tour. And of course they became my friends, but I don't have a band. No.
And is this a rock, a pop, a jazz? Is there any particular
country?
Country?
It's country.
Totally country. Okay. And you write original songs as well as he was talking about for the book, as well as covers. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Will there be other books? Will there be a follow-up to this one?
I don't know. I've always wanted to write children's books, and I have a couple ideas, and depending on how well this does, I think there could be
maybe a series of books or
an anthology or something.
Hopefully so. Hopefully this book does well enough that people want more.
Yeah.
We would love to put more out.
Yeah. So do you have an album that you've written, or do you write for other artists too?
I write for other artists, so I'm not a singer, and I don't release my own music.
Yeah,
I'm a songwriter. It's purely a songwriter.
purely a songwriter. Okay, so so I saw, I guess it was on your Facebook page, Mabel, who's adorable. So
He's laying right here.
Right
Mabel,
here.
did you hear that?
well, hey, Mabel.
Did you say hi? Want to say hi? She's literally like at our feet if we're not. Here she is.
How cute you are. How
Look
cute
at this baby.
She's like, "What are you doing to me? Why are you putting me on camera?" But
I
here
know.
she is.
You're camera ready.
What a pretty girl. Yay.
She is. She's
Yeah.
such a sweet girl. She just turned 2, so it's a
Okay.
big deal.
Is she a
She's grown up.
rescue or is she a rescue?
She's a Bernedoodle, so she's half Bernese Mountain Dog, half poodle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's coming up? I wanted to ask about the wine company. That was interesting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's called Joyful Heart, and I was approached about, doing something entrepreneurial, and I said, everything that I want to do has to sort of make sense, whether it's imparting love or joy or hi Mabel or my faith around that. So, and for me, wine was something that I always would bring to someone's house, and it seems very overwhelming because you're like, wow, there's so many different wines and so many different varietals and the process, and it's so intimidating. And Bradley always has enjoyed wine, and so we went on a trip, and I really got to learn so much about wine. And then, ironically, was approached about starting a wine company. So I was able to create the branding and the messaging and behind it. And we give $1 for each bottle to World Central Kitchen, which is also really important. They're always on the front lines of any crisis and able to feed people, which is, obviously essential to quality of life. And yeah, it's just a sentiment to be able to, do things with a joyful heart and with gladness. And I always wanted something that I really liked and it was delicious that I could bring to someone's house. So I was able to do all the wine tasting and blending with Nicole Walsh, who's our winemaker. So it's been really fun. We did some launch at Liquor Barns here in Kentucky. Not here, we're in Tennessee, but I say here because it's down the street for me. And it was really received well and people really enjoyed it. So we have an everyday red, an everyday white, and then a special red blend that's a reserve. So it's exciting. Hopefully it'll be launching in some other stores soon.
And it's really great. It's
Thanks.
really good wine.
Thanks, Bradley.
Yeah. I enjoy it.
So I guess I'd have to let's see. Are you in Nashville? Is this?
We are.
Okay. Is that the winery is that there or?
Oh no, the winery's in California.
Mm-hmm.
Near Paso Robles is like the biggest city, but the varietals come from Mendocino and near Santa Barbara.
Mm-hmm. See, I was hoping I could just rush right up to Nashville and get a bottle, but
well, we can send you some for sure.
Oh,
do you prefer red or white?
Red.
Okay,
me too.
Bradley does too. We'll have to send you some for sure.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Of course.
I also heard that you have a project coming up, and are you going to act and produce? Help me, Rhonda. Is that the correct title?
Oh, we are pitching that to different networks right now. It's not going at NBC, but we're hopefully going to find a home for it because it's a great story and really fun character that I would love to play. But it was optioned by NBC, but recently they picked up another show. So they passed on it, but we'll be pitching it to other networks, hopefully.
Maybe Peacock. We usually.
You never know.
Inside with NBC times, yeah. So yeah. So okay. So are we planning a wedding or
Oh my goodness. Mabel, are you getting married and you didn't tell us?
Yeah, Mabel, what's going on?
Yeah, sometimes I get a weird reaction. See, I don't know why. But or just enjoying the moment. See, I was going to finish that.
Enjoying the moment, that's for certain.
Finish that question so you've got an out there. Enjoying the moment. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you two taking the time. I've enjoyed the chat. Enjoyed
having us.
Enjoyed the chat.
You get some wine.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I guess whatever address is best for us to send it to you, you can maybe message Cheryl, my publicist, or somebody from Penguin. I'm not sure who contacted you, but if you give us your...
Yeah, I've got the book publicist that we're...
Okay, great. If you give them your mailing address, we'll send you over some wine.
Okay, I appreciate that so much. Good luck, guys, on the book.
Thank you so much.
Really, really great.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, Mabel.
She said bye. She said bye.
She looked at you, so she said
she
bye.
Did. She looked at the friend.
Right.
Got any friend?
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
This is a